If you like long slimy things, then you're in for a treat here, cause in this video, we will showcase and talk a bit about the biggest space worms in fiction. Not the ones found on planets, but the ones found in space. Let's get to it. We begin here with Dholes, which are sometimes called as Bholes. These are massive slimy worm-like monsters from H.P. Lovecraft's universe, the Cthulhu mythos. We are talking about beings that are several hundred feet long. They hate daylight and are always covered in goop, so it's hard to tell exactly what they look like. They live in creepy dream worlds like the Vale of Penat and on the alien planet called Yadit. They're not from Earth, and thankfully, they don't stay here for long, even if they show up. Apparently, they've destroyed entire worlds by tunneling through and eating them from the inside. No one knows how they travel between planets, but it might be some sort of magic or cosmic teleportation. Or they could just swim through space, which means they can survive in the void, and technically they are space worms.
See it, I see it.
We do! The cave is collapsing!
No cave.
What?
Now next, most of us would automatically think of these, the space slugs from Star Wars, when we hear the word space and worm. And you would be right here, well, visually speaking at least. They are actually a silicon-based sentient species, an intelligent group of gigantic creatures that reside in the hollows of asteroids. They have pride in themselves on maintaining a pleasant ecosystem within their bodies inside of them. Psi-O, the one that was seen in The Empire Strikes Back, was at least 900 meters long and would have easily devoured the Millennium Falcon if it got a hold of it. At number 8 we have the Alvarian space worms. These are gigantic creatures from the Doctor Who universe. They live in space and kind of look like long tubes. They don't have arms or legs, but they do have two short fin-like flaps on their sides. Their mouths are surrounded by little tentacle-like things. What makes them special is that they can mess with the minds of weaker beings using some form of telepathy. One of these creatures once took control of a bunch of smaller snake-like creatures and made them attack a space station. Luckily, someone called the Doctor, who used music to put all of them to sleep. However, it is still a mystery on whether the little snake creatures are part of the same species, maybe like different types or maybe even juveniles or ranks within it. However, the gigantic ones are more than a kilometer long. Then we come to the Devourer of Gods. This one is a boss monster from the game called Terraria, and is meant to be fought after you've already beaten the toughest main boss. It's kind of like a massive flying worm, but instead of being slimy or smooth, it looks more like a creepy insect or a robotic centipede. It flies through the air or space and can dig through solid ground. It can also chase players around. Basically, it is a super intimidating worm-shaped boss with a bug-like twist, and it is a mile long, or 1.6 kilometers. Then, in the movie called Gods of Egypt, there exists an entity called Apophis, a demonic deity which resides in the realm of shadows, also known as the 10th region of the night, which is shown as being outer space in this movie. It represents entropy, and Apophis seeks to consume all of creation, starting with Egypt and all the gods there. He is constantly put at bay by the powers of the sun god called Ra, and at one point of time, when Ra was incapacitated, Apophis dived down into the planet to consume all of it, and in this scene, he was equal to a shadowy worm the size of an entire city. Then we come to the Weblum, which is this enormous space worm from the franchise of Voltron. It is basically something that recycles the universe by eating up dead planets and turning their remnants into the raw materials for making new star systems. So yeah, it's kinda like a giant cosmic janitor. Weblums have tough armored bodies with spikes, with 6 eyes, 3 on each side, and gills that let them survive in space without air. They're not defenseless either. They can blast powerful venom-like lasers from their mouths to protect themselves. And also they are a source of a rare resource called Skullrite, which makes them even more valuable.
That's no moon.
Callum, focus on propulsion.
That's a Budong.
Then at number 4, we have the Budong. So Budongs are basically the kaiju of space in the TV series called Farscape. These are massive creatures so huge that even a giant spaceship called a Leviathan looks tiny compared to one of their teeth. They eat rocks, ice, and anything loaded with electromagnetism. So spaceships are kinda like little snacks to them. Once they eat something, it's doomed. Nothing survives their inside, because they have hot burning stomachs which have also a really powerful acid. which burns everything or oxidizes everything, and they work like industrial furnaces, reducing whatever they eat into molten metal. In short, they're like terrifying spacefaring garbage disposals with a serious appetite. Now we come to the top 3, and on the 3rd spot we have a creature from the world of 40k, Warhammer 40k, the Grimdog. And this one is described in the Liber Xenologus, the Acropoforum. This one is a legendary horror lurking in the endless void of space. Supposedly these gargantuan creatures resemble monstrous leeches or worms, and they slither silently through outer space and can remain undetected by sensors until it's far too late. They are called the Auct. The legends in the stories of the Grimdog paint a terrifying picture, as they are said to be so vast that they can coil their grotesque forms, their slimy bodies, around void ships with ease, with their crushing embrace rupturing hulls and spilling the screaming crew into the void. These creatures, the Auct, also don't simply destroy, they devour. According to some accounts, they don't even need to consume the ship's physical structure. Instead, they feed on the essence of their victims, like life, hope, or sanity, the emotions, and they drain them away into the endless dark of their mouths. On the 2nd spot we have a creature called SCP-1682, also known as the Solar Parasite. This is a fictional creature from the SCP Foundation universe. Basically, it is like a giant worm living inside the sun. It is absolutely massive, over 28,000 kilometers long, based on how long it took to appear and disappear across the sun's surface. People once thought it might be linked to those solar flares or the prominences inside the sun, but it doesn't always show up with them, so that might just be a coincidence. The good news? It is so far away, like it is in the sun, and stuck there due to the gravity, that no one thinks it is ever getting out, so it is basically contained just by being there. It is theorized that the SCP simply was a passing entity that ate the solar mass from stars, ate some of our sun, and then would leave the solar system after refueling to find another planet or another star to devour and eat. And number 1, the Leviathan. This one is from the game called Solar Smash. This is this huge monster weapon which is called the Leviathan. It's like a giant space worm that appears from behind the screen and dives straight into the planet wherever you tap or click. As it burrows through, it twists and turns deep under the surface inside the core, causing a ton of destruction and eventually exploding the world. Then it pops out somewhere else and flies off into space. It looks pretty terrifying too. It has these 6 claw-like mandibles which are arranged in a circle around its mouth and a lot of sharp teeth. Its size is several times as long as the diameter of a planet, which means around 50,000 kilometers or more. And so those are the 10 biggest space worms in fiction. Yeah, you can make a case for the Shai-Hulud, the dune sandworms, but they are sandworms, not space worms. Anyway, if you like this video, then watch this other one too. And do check out our channel as well, we might have things that you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, fam.